Talk about a good law in your country. What it is. How do you know about it? What do people think about this law? Explain why you think that it is a good law. You should try to speak this cue card for 2 minutes.
Now, you can brainstorming cue card ideas. Here, there are some visual ideas which can help you in brainstorming.
In recent years, the government of our country has passed a lot of commendable laws in favor of citizens of our nation. Although I like most of them here, I would like to speak about a law called Women Protection Law, which was brought into force by the Indian government. One of my friends is a lawyer, and it's he who told me about this act. This law was enacted over a decade ago, in order to protect married women from domestic violence. Furthermore, this law needed to be passed because the majority of females in my country were being subjected to physical or verbal abuse by their in-laws. This law encouraged women to approach the police and stand against any kind of verbal, emotional, or physical abuse by any of their in-laws. The judge can order many different measures under this law in order to ensure a female's protection and well-being. This includes ordering the offender to stop violence, monetary relief, custody orders, and composition orders. Different people view this law from different viewpoints. Whereas some have criticized the law as having too little force, many have spotted it as it has settled many in-laws from abusing their daughters-in-law. A little portion of people has opposed the law, arguing that it might be misused by women during disputes. Nevertheless, I view this as one of the greatest acts of this century for several reasons. Firstly, after its passage, the rate of violence against females declined to a great extent. Then, it has empowered women. Earlier, women had to face and almost difficulties after marriage in her in-laws' family, and she had to keep quiet despite being a victim because she was helpless. But today, because of the law, she has the power to fight against those problems. All in all, I would say that this law was in need of the hour, and this is the best law that I like in my country.
How successful do you think the laws are in your country?
On the whole, I'd say that the laws work pretty well. The law ensures that criminals and other people who wish harm to people are not tolerated. Some people think they need improvement to protect the interests of minorities, who may feel that the law does not look out for them as much as it does for other people. Others complain that some laws are too harsh and that they want more freedom, but there aren't that many. To be honest, I'm groping in the dark when it comes to telling you about the law in China, because I'm not a citizen here.
Do you think it's important for people to obey laws?
On the face of it, this sounds like a ridiculous question. Of course, it's important for people to obey laws. If they didn't, there'd be anarchy and chaos in the streets. The rule of law is the main reason why society can function. Yet, despite this obvious answer, there are some occasions where following the law to the letter is not always necessary. Most of us have broken the law at least once in our life, even if it's something very minor. There are many laws that are good to follow in general, but if they are broken once in a while, there is no real harm. Also, some laws are just downright unfair and should be broken as a form of protest. The civil rights movement in the USA saw thousands of people deliberately breaking the law to achieve greater justice in their country.
What are some ways that people can be encouraged to obey the law?
Following the law is generally in everybody's self-interest. If we break the law, we can't complain about other people who break it also, so that's one logical argument to make. One way people are encouraged to obey the law is by the threat of being punished if they break it. Most people know that if you break the law you will be arrested and either fined or sent to jail. There are no two ways about it. Another reason people obey the law is that they know the law is there to make their lives better and safer, and so they choose to follow it.
Why some people prefer to be a lawyer?
Some people prefer to be a lawyer because they want to ensure that everyone receives justice and is treated fairly by the law. They may have a desire to fight for others' rights and ensure that everyone gets a fair chance to justify their actions. Some people choose this profession because of the prospects of earning money and fame.